Hi, welcome to Mikey's Video Game Madness. That was probably too loud because I said it right in front of the microphone. Today we're playing Medal of Honor Allied Assault on the PC. Yeah, another PC game. Another Medal of Honor game on PC. The last time I covered Medal of Honor Pacific Assault, which was kind of like the spiritual sequel of this. And this is probably my all-time favorite PC game, and I guess maybe nostalgia is involved. I mean, you might have to take that into consideration because Call of Duty and Battlefield obviously does it better. This game looks quite outdated. I put the HD texture pack on half of this video. You'll be able to notice the difference between the player's sleeve. It's a lot less detailed without the texture pack, and the guns look really weird, like they're made out of glass. When I did that second half of the video, I took the mod off because it just didn't look right. I think it would have looked better if the guns weren't so reflective. I don't know. But this is the first Medal of Honor game on the PC, and probably, in my opinion, the best. And it's kind of weird for me to say that because, there's been so many Medal of Honors that have done so many cool things. Things have been refined. There's been Medal of Honors that came out that had better graphics. Medal of Honor Airborne was unique, where it was almost like a sandbox environment, which is an awesome game, by the way. If you haven't played that, I definitely recommend that. I almost should probably do another video of it. I can't remember if I did the game or just a demo of it. And if I did a demo of it, it might have been the Xbox 360 version. So maybe I'll do the PlayStation 3 version to hold up, but off task. So yeah, this one is just so much fun. Me being the cheapskate that I am, I had the $10 and I sat there and I debated on it, and I don't know why, because I remember having so much fun. I guess part of me was afraid that it wasn't going to hold up to nostalgia or my memories, and I was going to be let down, even though it's a video game. I mean, how serious am I going to take it? I'm not going to sit in the corner, with a fold-up chair, unfold the chair in the corner, place the chair in the corner, and then proceed to sit down and cry and pout while somebody's playing the world's smallest violin because Medal of Honor Allied Assault did not live up to expectation. Alright, that was way too long for a joke that wasn't even really all that funny. At least I didn't think it was that funny. So, yeah, it's just an all-around good game. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles of the newer games that come out, with the iron sights. It is nice to have the iron sights. There's a few times where I'm like, man, iron sights would really be nice. But, it has this... I don't know how to quite explain it, and I say that a lot, and that's amazing that I chose YouTube as a platform for my commentary when I don't know how to express what I want to say. So that's pretty awesome. Way for me to aim high, even though I'm really low. I don't know. It sort of reminds me of having the action of like an old school shooter, almost like Doom. I was playing this and it reminded me a little bit of playing the newer version of Doom, where you came across hordes and you didn't have to hordes of enemies and you didn't have to think for a little bit before you went on to the next puzzling platform. And even though there's no husk or anything to activate like on Doom to make everything spawn all of a sudden, that's kind of how this game is laid out, but it's extremely fun. I really like the World War II weapons. Nothing super high tech or mechanical or has laser sights on it. And I'll tell you one thing that really stands out about this game, even though they sound a little bit fuzzy because it's an older game and they had sound compression, but just the multitude of different sounds and the way they sound. I'm sure newer games have a lot more sounds, but whatever they had to work with, the variety of materials that the bullets hit and stuff like that, that water is actually a different color when you have the normal pack on. You know, like, the HD pack's a double-edged sword. I can't stand the guns, but I like the way everything else looks. And I tried it on the expansion pack. By the way, you can get this on PC, which I highly recommend. EA Origins is selling it for $9.99, and GOG, or goodoldgames.com, is selling it for $9.99. I recommend getting it on GOG, especially if you're like me who really appreciates physical copies, because with GOG you can actually burn it to a disc and then you can download it whenever you want to, and they update both sites update it so it runs on even Windows 10, which is what I'm currently running it on. I'm sure all of you have mixed feelings about that. I didn't really come into problems with Windows 10 until I started actually trying to use some of my older programs, then it became a bitch. But it does have that Xbox record feature, so God bless that. So anyway, I sound a little negative there, I apologize. But yeah, it's just a really fun game, and the sound design's amazing. I originally got this game when I couldn't run it, and I was working at a restaurant washing dishes, and it probably took me about 2 or 3 weeks of washing people's nasty ass dishes to get this game. I was so stoked to bring this game home. I was looking at the back of the box. I have seen a box PC game, but I haven't cared to look at it at all. But some PC games have that little spine that opens up or whatever. It has the little fold on it where you can open it up and it tells you more about the game. And I was inspecting all the screenshots, and the screenshots are at ultra settings that you probably can't run, and I thought I'd be able to play it, and it required 128 megabytes of RAM. I know, mind-blowing, and I didn't have it. It was 120, I think it's 128. If it was 120, it's not even relevant. What is relevant is I couldn't run it on my PC. It played through all the cutscenes, like the little asshole game that it is. It teased me. And then when it went into the gameplay, the game froze, and I realized I didn't have enough RAM. So, yeah, my friend moved into town for a little while and lived with his sister and his brother-in-law, and he was fixing PCs for schools and stuff like that. So he was obsessed with Half-Life and whatever mod came from that, Counter-Strike, all the Half-Life mods, more than I ever could imagine. I was never into Half-Life on the multiplayer side. I think they're excellent single player experiences, but I don't really care that too much for the multiplayer. To each his own. I'm not knocking it. I'm not good at it, so I don't get enjoyment out of it, and people are so good at it, and I don't even know if people still play it. I know people still play Counter-Strike, but he was playing old school Half-Life, even when Half-Life was outdated. I don't think Half-Life 2 had come out yet. But I mean, they were so good. There was this gun called Towel Cannon, and they mastered it, where they knew how to use it to make them jump high. They would jump, and the impact from the Towel Cannon, when they shot the cannon on the floor, it would make them jump higher. And they knew how, if somebody was behind the wall, they knew how to calculate where the laser from the Towel Cannon would bounce off and reflect off of the wall and hit the person. And just the ultimate fuck you. I remember I played a deathmatch LAN game with my friend and his brother-in-law, and just to basically say fuck you, he beat me to death with a crowbar. But yeah, I recommend getting this on GOG, because if you're like me, you like physical copies. If you're like me, and you can put it on a DVD, and as long as you have that DVD, you can download it. You don't need EA Origins or anything special to upload it. Everything's in a installer file there. And I believe that they continuously update the games too, so you can go back to the website. And I think you have every version of the game, like if you have like an Apple computer or Linux or whatever. Don't quote me. It's the first time I actually bought a game from them. I've been that site's been recommended to me more than once, and it was interesting. There's just never was a game that really interested me, and this is like my favorite game. If you saw, I got health from a medic, which kind of seems almost like a hint of things that come in Medal of Honor Pacific Assault, because there's very few health packs in that game, and you have to actually rely on the medic. By the way, this is, if you haven't guessed it already, the Omaha Beach level, which is also a Medal of Honor Frontline on the consoles, which were the PlayStation 2, the original Xbox, and the GameCube. This Omaha Beach level is a lot different and a lot harder. I actually make it to the beach alive, which I was pretty proud of myself. I watched recently some other PC-centric game reviewer talk about how he died on the beach 17 times during this part, so I felt pretty good about myself, me not being a regular PC game player, and surviving the beach to the first time. But I died a whole hell of a lot after I got passed through this fence. So if the picture looks jerky towards that area, it's because I had to make cuts to cut out all the death, but hopefully it's it'll still make sense what I had to do. And hopefully if you happen to play this game and you get stuck on this level, because this level is like the first person shooter D-Day level that I've seen, or at least one that I've seen that's done it justice. I think there was some crappy Army Men game. I don't know if you remember those on PlayStation, the original PS1, where you played as like the little green plastic army men. They were always like, they were budget titles. Like when they came out, they were $20 brand new, and they had like 5 of them. They were all basically the same, and somehow the production values of each game got worse and worse and worse. Like literally the first one's good. They had like a D-Day level, but it was kind of funny. Like when your character got shot, little pieces of plastic would fly off of them. If that's the best you had, I mean, more power to you. Like, I would rent them and play them. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't like, this is the most awful game ever. They were just kind of frustrating because they didn't really feel like they were finished. I kind of wouldn't mind going back and playing one if I could find one. I can't imagine them being collector's items now. Maybe the last one. Maybe by then people caught on and realized that they weren't all that great. But, you know, a lot of PlayStation games I go back and play, and I definitely was looking at those games through rose-colored glasses. But yeah, GOG also gave me because it came with the expansion packs, which EA does, but GOG also put in strategy guides, which I haven't even looked at in the file, so I don't know what they consist of, whether they have pictures or they're just text files or what. But I mean, that's still really cool. It came with wallpaper, some artwork and stuff like that. Really cool. And $9.99, you can't beat it. At least for me, it's my favorite game. Sorry, again, I'm recording these things really late, but I was really excited about recording this. I wish I would have recorded it when I was more awake, but I couldn't wait. Like, I was really excited about sharing this game with you because I've talked about it a lot. Like I said, I don't really play PC games that often, but if there was a game that made me sit in front of a monitor and play a PC game and enjoy it as if I were playing a console game, it was definitely this one. This one was originally scheduled to come out for the original Xbox, and instead Xbox got Medal of Honor Frontline, which is on its own a good game, but not nearly as good as this. Medal of Honor Frontline's D-Day level or Omaha Beach level is a lot more simpler than this. Like on the console version, all you had to do was help like 4 soldiers, which were pretty easy. The beach isn't nearly as big, and basically the way you would help them was give them covering fire. It was the first level in the entire game. This is basically, I don't know, this is pretty far in the game. The levels are really big and get like cut up into little sections. This almost seemed like it was added in the middle. Like, I think maybe they wanted to do a Saving Private Ryan level like in the original PlayStation games, but the graphics capability couldn't handle it, so they kind of forced it in the middle of this game, because it's kind of weird. Like, usually the levels are really big in this game, but the Omaha Beach level, it's like its own self-contained thing almost, and usually you get like a briefing like after you finish like the big level segment, and you really don't get one. You like get the job well done, maybe because they thought that this level was hard, which it is. It's really trial and error, but once you know what you're doing, I mean, you can probably get through this level fairly quickly. I haven't played this game in years, so I made it past the beach, but then once I had to get rid of those nests. See, in the PC version, you have to strategically know what obstacles to hide behind, and you wait, and the sound is so good on that D-Day level, even though it sounds a little bit crunchy or fuzzy or whatever because it's compressed, but still. And the guns sound really good too. Everything just sounds good. If the graphics aren't going to blow your mind, even though the sound almost sounds like it's coming out of a shitty pair of headphones or whatever, it just sounds really good. Just the variety of sounds. This is the first time I played a World War II game where the weapons actually had kickback. If you see the crosshair when you shoot the gun, it actually bounces up and down, so you almost feel like you're shooting like this thing that's slightly kind of like sloppy and a little bit out of control. In the first Medal of Honor game, when you had the M1 Grand, like after 8 shots, like you would just cock the gun back, like the stock back and forward, and cock it like a shotgun, and you could reload it as much as you want. Although it seems like in modern World War II games you could reload the M1, but I was confused like when you used the M1 in this game, that like you had to fire all 8 shots and then that clip would ping out. That was new. Like, everything was just really cool. And Medal of Honor Frontline didn't come out on PS2 till much later, so I was expecting something like this. And again, it's a really good game, and I highly recommend, if you want to play it again, to get just, it's titled Medal of Honor on PlayStation 3, but it's the Middle Eastern one. If you're not into that and just want Medal of Honor Frontline, fear not. Just get that game, and on the disc you'll see, like, when you turn on your PlayStation, like an option for Medal of Honor Frontline comes out. Like, I'll pop up, sorry I can't talk, and just click on that, and it's on the disc. You don't have to download anything, maybe a patch or something, but if you didn't have the internet hooked up, it would work just fine. But yeah, there's a remastered version of Medal of Honor Frontline for free on the PlayStation 3 version of Medal of Honor, and I highly recommend it. And I highly recommend playing this, and I don't play PC games, and you know, it's a little bit simple, but I think it's great. And there's 2 other expansion packs, and I'll try to cover them. I'm not as familiar with the expansion packs. I had Spearhead, but Breakthrough I actually played yesterday for the first time. Seems really cool, but it starts off kind of difficult early on. This part is fairly similar. Once you get into the bunkers, it's pretty similar to the PlayStation version. So the PlayStation version, I think you had to add flares over there. But yeah, the D-Day level's a lot more difficult than the PlayStation 2, but you know, this is further in the game, and this game can get quite difficult. This is on medium setting. I don't know, if you're used to playing PC games, maybe you'll do better. I'm not the greatest person at PC games, but I really enjoy this one, and I plan on finishing it, which is kind of rare to say. You know, I don't have that many PC games, but the ones I have I really cherish, and I really like this one a lot. But anyway, I would highly recommend checking out this game on GOG, but you can get on EA Origins. Thank you so much and take care. I hope you're all doing well. Bye.
If you want to, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.